Hi, welcome to this video in the series on how to create financial freedom. This week, I want to talk about saving versus investing because both of them are important. But before we get into that, I want to very quickly recap the previous videos because the order in which I presented them is very important. The first step is that you need to live within your means. You need to know that you are spending less than you make each month. There are a shocking number of people who are not doing this. They get deeper and deeper into credit card debt and financial contracts and loans and mortgages every month. Every month, they're worse off than they were the previous month. You have to stop that. You have to make sure that there is extra cash at the end of each month. Then, with that cash comes the next step, which is getting out of debt, especially high interest credit card debt or finance loans. You are spending far much more in interest than you would ever make on investing or saving, so you need to stop this drain. You need to get rid of the debt and start paying cash for as much as you can. Full disclosure, I use a credit card for almost every purchase, but I know that there is enough money in the bank to pay that credit card debt before I make the charges. Now, the third step, and again, this is important, is to create an emergency fund. I know a lot of financial planners suggest at least 3 to 6 months of your regular expenses in an emergency fund to cover, say, a loss of income or unexpected expenses such as car or house repairs or unexpected medical bills. Now, 3 to 6 months, that can take a long time to save up. So start with maybe 500, then work your way up to 1,000 and then 1 month, but start building that emergency fund. The reason is if you start saving or investing before you have funds to cover emergencies, when something does come up, you're going to be tempted to dip into those investments. And depending on how you set those investments up, that could have some tax consequences, which is going to leave you even worse off. Once you have those three steps looked after, it's time to start saving and investing. Let's say you need a new pair of glasses, or you want to upgrade your iPhone, or make a down payment on a car or even a house. Start saving towards that. Don't try and come up with the money all at once. Plan ahead, give yourself enough time to set aside a little bit of money each month and save it. Now, if possible, get this into a high interest savings account and keep it separate from your emergency account. I say high savings, and you can't just look at the name. I have seen banks that talk about a high interest savings account that pay 0.1% a year. I have seen other banks that have high interest savings accounts that pay 2.2% or even 2.7% if you automatically make deposits each month. So shop around. The other thing you can look at is a GIC, a guaranteed investment certificate. Now, if you live anywhere other than Canada, your country probably has a different term for this. But what you do is you go to your bank and you agree to give them a sum of money for a specified length of time. Your bank, in turn, pays you a higher interest rate than they would normally pay on a savings account. Now, some of these are what they call redeemable GICs. In other words, you can cash them in ahead of time without losing interest. They usually pay a bit lower interest rate, but if you think you're going to need the money fairly soon, that might be a good idea. The other thing to do is to shop around, especially if you're on good terms with your bank. You can sometimes get a better than advertised interest rate on your GIC. They will negotiate. I've done this and made a few extra percentage points on my GICs. What you do not want to do with savings is put it into the stock market. Unless you're ready to leave it there for at least 5 years, there's a chance that when you need that money, the market's down and you've lost some of your savings. So keep it liquid, keep it safe. Next comes investing. Investing to me is different than saving. When you invest, you're investing for the long term, And you may not actually have a specific goal in mind other than retirement and the lifestyle you want to lead in retirement. So you want to put it into something that is going to grow and grow faster than the rate of inflation. I have set up my investments so that I am actually earning enough investment income from them that I never have to touch the principal, the initial amount I've invested. And not only is the income covering my expenses, but that investment is growing in value in addition to the dividends that it's paying me. Now, there's a lot of options for investing, and it's not as sketchy and dangerous and risky as you might think. So, next week, I'm going to talk about some investment options that you might consider to set yourself up for the future. So, make sure you stay tuned for next week. Like, subscribe, and if you know someone who needs this information, consider sharing this video for me. Thanks for watching, and until next week, here's some more videos for you to check out.